Well, in case of Propfirm account, when you lose the 100% of your investment. However, in case of personal account, it may not be the case every time. Now the question is, it's very obvious that when you are taking the higher risks, you expect to have a higher return. Of course, like higher the risks, higher the return, right? And no doubt, Propfirm accounts are riskier than the personal account. Now, is Propfirm account really suitable according to your risk appetite? That we will find out with the help of this video. Namaskar to all traders and welcome. This video will be on a Propfirm versus personal account. In case if you are failing the Propfirm account again and again, but you are profitable, you are profitable in your personal account, just to let you know, you are not alone. You are not the alone. Many traders are facing the same issue. In this video, I'll be making the comparison between the Propfirm and personal account, and I'll also show you a simple calculation just to show you how risky the Propfirm accounts are when compared with personal account. Say for example, just take an example. Say for example, you have $1,000 to make an investment in the trading, and you are confused of whether to open a Propfirm account or a personal account. Now let's just take an example. You got a Propfirm account. In Propfirms, like you can get apply for the challenge of up to 200k account. I'm just taking an example. You will get the cheaper rate than this, but just for the sake of example, 200k account for $1,000 you have taken, and for the challenge you have a profit target of 10%, and in phase 2 5% is the profit target. Phase 1 profit target is 10%, and phase 2 profit target is 5%. And the maximum loss out there is, which is the industry standard, which you can find in most of the Propfirm, that is 10%. I am taking out here 10% is the maximum loss that you can incur in that Propfirm account, in that challenge account. Now say for example, you have decided to risk 1% on each trade. Now according to with respect to the risk limit that they are allowing, you have 10 chance. Since you are risking 1%, so you have 10 chance. Since it is 10% is the maximum loss, you have 10 chance or 10 trades to take. Okay, now with risking this, you have to gain a 15 hours. Since it is 15% in total, 15% is the profit target, 10% in phase 1 and 5% in phase 2. So 15 hours you have to gain in order to pass the challenge. Now what is that? Like you are risking a 1% in the capital that you are getting 200k account, but you are risking in the actual risks on the investment that you have made of $1,000. The actual risk is 10% of it, because you have a 10 chance. So you just divide that with your $1,000 with your this 10 chance. That is like you are risking a 10% of your investment out here, right? If you divide 1,000 by 10, it comes $100. So $100 is the 10% of $1,000. So 10% you are risking out here. 10% is the risk that you are doing out here in each trade. If you get a Propfirm account. Now let's just take an example. You have not gone through the Propfirm account. You have gone to personal account. All right. Now you have gone to personal account and you open an account of $1,000. Now you have thought that you are thinking that you will risk 10% instead of going to Propfirm account. Since you have more freedom in the personal account, you will risk the 10% of your capital. You are just thinking you will risk the same, and you will see how much profit you are getting, or that, whether it is really profitable or not. Now in order to pass the challenge, you have to gain a 15 hour. So if you gain a 15 hour in your personal account, you are going to receive a profit of $1,500 on your $1,000 investment. So total your balance will be now, new balance will be $2,500, right? Perfect, right? Now however, in case of Propfirm account, till you gain a 15 hour, since it is the challenge target, you are not going to receive a single penny out of it. You are not going to receive a single penny out of it during your initial stage. However, in case in future, if you again in your personal account, in future, if you again manage to gain a 15 hour, I'm just considering as an hour the risks that you have taken. I hope you are understanding. Risks R is the risk, that is 1% is the risk that you are doing out here. So in future, in your personal account, you have done a 15 hour. You have again gained a 15 hour. You will be getting a $1,500 out here as your reward. $1,500 will be your profit. $1,500 you can take out the withdrawal. However, in case of Propfirm, now the scenario is completely different. Now you have passed the challenge. In passing the challenge till 15 hour, you did not get any money, but again in future, after passing the challenge, if you gain a 15 hour again, you are going to have a 15 into $2,000 to the 1%, right? 1,000. So like 1% of 200k account, that is $2,000. It will come around $30,000. That is the like net profit, and out of which most of the Propfirms, like from the industry standards, they provide you with a profit share of 80%. So you are going to be able to withdraw $24,000. So 24,000, where is 24,000 and where is $1,500? So that is something like once you pass the challenge, you have like a very like huge amount of benefits. Like just like you are starting a business, during the initial stage you might not be able to gain any profit, but after certain stage, once you start gaining the profit, once your business start to make a revenue, like a profit, like at that time, like you are going to gain a very good amount of profit. So that is something out here. So like Propfirm, it's risky, of course, very risky, compared when you compare with the personal account. And like now you gotta ask yourself question that are you really comfortable in risking 10% of your capital in each trade? So that is something you need to ask yourself in order to find out whether you are really comfortable with that or not. So that is something which you need to consider out here. That is something which you need to ask yourself question, because risking 10% on each trade is a very big amount. So that is, you need to understand out here. When you go with the Propfirm, this is something which happens. If you are risking less, then like it's going to take a very long time to pass the challenge, so which will eventually make you feel bored or something. Of course, like trading is a boring game, but like it will make you feel more bored. So risking less than that, like say for example you have risked 0.5% each trade, but it's still like you are risking on your actual capital, you are risking 5% of your capital. So 5% as well, it is very high for some people out there. So that is something which you need to ask and analyze yourself, whether you are really comfortable taking that amount of high risk or not. So now let's look into some additional risks that comes along with the Propfirm account when you compare with the personal account. Now first thing is lot of rules. In case of Propfirm account, you get to see a lot of rules. They have a lot of rules. Apart from the maximum drawdown, they have a maximum daily loss. You cannot trade this, you cannot trade this strategy, you cannot trade that, you cannot do hedging, you cannot do copy trading. They have a lot of like rules, hard rules and soft rules. So if you break those rules, you are going to lose your entire investment. So that is something out here. However, in case if you look at the brokers and all, they don't have rules like that. You are free to use any kind of strategy, you are free to do anything with your account, since it's your own personal account. As long as you are making money, you are good to go with it. Even if you are not making money, they don't care about it. So like you have a complete freedom to do whatever you want to do, since it's your personal account. But in case of Propfirm account, they have a lot of rules. You have to follow that rules. From one side, if we see like it's beneficial to the traders, it makes you more disciplined. But from the other side, if you see, you don't have the freedom as well out here. Now second number of risks that comes along with the Propfirm accounts is like many Propfirm you have seen, like many Propfirms are scamming traders. Many Propfirms are scam, and many Propfirms are getting shut down. Like you have seen in a MyForex fund, you have seen in the funded trader, you have seen with the funded engineer, skilled funded trader. Many Propfirms are like they are just like, since recently also like True Forex fund also have shut down their business process. So they suddenly shut down, like that is the thing, that is the risk it can come like. So that is the thing. And third number of risks that comes along with the Propfirm accounts are payout rejection and excuse. You have passed the challenge and you have met some like say for example $5,000 of profit in your account, and it's your payout day. You are very excited to receive your first payout, but suddenly you are getting a mail that your account has been flagged, your account does not did not follow this blah 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 whatever, like they are just making the excuse of payout rejection. It can happen in the Propfirm, and it is very very popular problem in the Propfirm accounts that you will find most of the people complaining about this. So this can happen, payout rejection, payout excuse can happen. So which is something, you know, like if you see in brokers, this thing doesn't happen much, whatever the profit that you like, provided you have gone through a legit broker, authorized broker. So like these things happens very less out there. Now, fourth number of risks that comes along with the Propfirm accounts are, they are very new in the industry. This Propfirm industry is very very new, like no doubt, but that's the reason it's not regulated. There is no authority, unlike brokers. They have authorities like SEC, and these things are there. So they have authorities to look after the transaction in the broker, in case of broker or a personal account you can say. But in case of Propfirms, there is no such authorities who are looking after that. So it is not regulated as of now. So it is very very new in the industry. So it may like they may take away your money and shut down their business like anytime they want. So that is something like you won't be able to report to anyone. So that is something which is which is a risk when it comes to Propfirm account. And fifth number of risks that comes along with the Propfirm accounts are chance of having a same trades with others. As we all know that no Propfirm allows the copy trading or account management service. Very few Propfirm allows, but if they are allowing, like I would say like that's in our red list, like it should be in your red list as well, because like if they are investing in the same strategy, like lots of money, then like it's risky for them. Like they will, of course they will also want to diversify, but just understand no Propfirm allows same trades, trading by multiple traders, same trades, opening at the same time, opening in the same pair, closing in the same time, closing in the same pair. So that is something which is not allowed in most of the Propfirm, most of the legit Propfirms I would say out here. It can happen that like the chance is there that it can happen that you and your friends or maybe others have learned the trading or the strategy from the same mentor, and there is a high possibility that you and your friends or other people who have learned from the same mentor having this like same trades at the same time, at the same exit, or this thing can happen. So that is something like there's a chance that you might have this kind of like same trades, and like you might get a mail, you know, like when you're requesting for the payout, or when you are past the challenge and trying to move to the other phase. At that time you might get a mail that like your account has been flagged, your account is under management service, you are using some it had came to our notice that you are using some management service or something like that. So that is something, though you are not doing anything, you are trading all by yourself, but the thing is it can happen, like trades can be same like with others. So that is something like which most of the Propfirm don't allow, and like this thing can happen, and this thing can become the reason for not getting the payouts. Now, sixth number of risks out here is slippage issue. Now slippage issue comes along with the Propfirms. Like you have seen like many Propfirms doing the slippage. You must have heard about slippage thing like in this Propfirm industry. They do a lot. So like this slippage happens a lot in the Propfirm industry, whereas in case of brokers and all these things, like it's very rare. But in case of Propfirms, it is very very popular and very very big problem in this Propfirm industry that you will need to take it as a risk. Like that is the risk that comes along with the Propfirm accounts. Alright, this is it about the Propfirm versus personal account. Just let me know in the comment section which one would you prefer, what is your risk appetite, and which one would you prefer. Is it really worth going with the Propfirm accounts? What do you think about it? Do let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining in. Jumps and FX closing the comparison between Propfirm and a personal account. It was more like risks coming with the Propfirm accounts. Thank you.